Hey, what is going on, everyone, and welcome to the beautiful Florida Everglades. For the next 3 days, I will be fishing down here out of my new Old Town Sportsman PDL 120 Pro. We're going to be chasing after snook, tarpon, grouper, redfish, really whatever is around that wants to play. And we've got plenty of time down here to hopefully get onto a good pattern and get onto some good fish. So, very excited. I think the plan right now is to make my way down to some deeper cuts and maybe see if we can find some grouper or trout. The past few days have been a little chilly, some chilly nights, so I think my plan is to start working deeper, and then today and the following 2 days are going to be very warm and hopefully have some happy fish up in the shallows. So let's do it. All right, so this setup that I'm gonna start off using is a Nomad Seacourse 7.2 20 to 40 pound rod with a Florida Fishing Products Bahia 4000. And on the business end, we've got this Nomad Sumo shrimp. This is a pretty wicked looking color, but we've got some dark water down here, so I wanted to use something bright, especially fishing a little bit deeper. But this bait is super cool because the hook detaches from it, so the fish will get less leverage to spit the hook after we hook them. And yeah, we're gonna spend some time hitting some points in some deeper cuts, like I said, in around 5 to 10 feet of water, see if we can find any grouper or anything like that. Looks like I'm marking some fish to my left, and I might have just rolled over some as well. I'm gonna let this get down to the bottom, see if we can pick whatever that was up. Yeah, there's definitely some fish under me. There he is. Good fish. Gosh, he crushed it. Crushed it. Oh man, that was sick. Ooh, nice gag grouper. Nice gag. Oh, nice, dude. Let's go get him in the net. All right. All right. That's how we want to start it off right there. Oh, that is sick, dude. That is sick. Pretty little gag grouper right there on the sumo shrimp. That hook popped right out just like we wanted it to, and well, he definitely didn't spit the hook, so that's awesome. This current is drifting me down. I'm gonna pop this hook out and we're gonna try to get back on this fish. It looked like a decent stack of them there. Oh, and there he goes. All right, all right. Well, that was probably 5th cast of the day. Let's get back over to those fish and see if we find any more. This incoming tide is ripping real good, and this is a 1/2 ounce bait, so it takes a little bit to get down there, but once it's down there, that fish couldn't resist it. We were right in the money zone, right on top of those fish. There's an edge off of this point here. It drops off from like 4 feet down to 12, and that's right where those fish were sitting, right on that point that sticks out at the bottom. And they're probably just sitting there waiting for the conveyor belt to come through with that incoming tide flushing bait right to them. All right, these fish seem to leave. I think this snag is a sign to move on from this little spot. They were stacked up at first. Got that first fish, and I think I had another bite, but haven't really marked them in the past 5 minutes or so. Looks like I'm marking some fish to my right over here. There he is. Got him. Decent fish. Is that a big trout? What is that? Nice speckled trout. Oh, and there he goes. It might be a pile of them sitting right there. That was probably like a 20-inch trout. I think they were straight out in front of me here. It has been a grind so far. since that first grouper, man, I have covered a lot of water. The wind has picked up a lot, so it's made getting from point A to point B very difficult. Oh, might have been another bite right there. But at least we hooked a fish. That was a good trout. There he is, good fish. Nice trout. Smacked it. Smacked it. Come here, buddy. There we go. Nice speckled trout there. It's like a 20, 22 or so. Nice, dude. Nice trout. Well, that makes up for the one that we just lost. Yeah, he's probably about 20 inches, maybe a hair less. He's just really stocky and healthy. But yeah, you're just hanging out right off that point there. I'm not gonna lie, today has been difficult. It has been extremely difficult with the wind plus the current. One of the two is not bad to deal with, but both, whoa, 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 whoa. Sorry, buddy. Don't want you flopping around the boat. Trout are pretty gentle fish. You don't want to beat them all up, especially nicer sized ones like these. All right, dude, he's really freaking out. Maybe I'll just use the pliers. He ate it so hard too. I was surprised it was a trout. I thought it was gonna be another grouper with that thump that he gave us. So that was awesome. But yeah, like I was saying, it has been a difficult bite today. Just a lot of areas, and now we're going into the trees. A lot of areas that I would have liked to fish, I haven't been able to, just because of the wind and the current both working together to make things pretty difficult. We're gonna send him back, try not to drop him. Nice, pretty speckled trout there. Crush the party paddle. See you, buddy. As for my thoughts on the kayak so far, I've been very happy with it. With the conditions that we have, I mean, it is a large kayak. It's 36 inches wide, which is great for standing up on, extremely stable. But with that, it's not exactly super fast. You know, cutting through current is not one of its strong suits, I don't think, but it's been manageable. I mean, we've covered at least 5-6 miles so far today, and it's been very comfortable. The seat's very comfortable. I threw a kayak cushion on here because they are just awesome to throw on a kayak no matter what seat you're in. But overall, lots of space up in here. I love the horizontal rod storage. Forgot to throw an extra rod holder right here, so I have easy access to stow a rod, but that's not a huge deal. The biggest adjustment that I've been making is with the pedal drive itself. I haven't fished out of a kayak that has a propeller drive for a while. I'm usually using a fin drive out of a Hobie, so I'm constantly, when I want to go in reverse, my first reaction is to reach down and grab the reverse switch, the reverse cord, but you don't need it because you can go in instant reverse like this. So it's definitely an adjustment, but it is really nice having that instant reverse. So been stoked with it so far. We've got, I don't know, another 3 hours of daylight left, so we're gonna grind hard the rest of the evening, and I have some really cool plans for tomorrow, but let's see what else we can get into. There we go, there's a fish. Oh, another really nice trout, dude. That was a big jump for a trout. He ate it right under me too. Lots of really nice trout around. No giants, but I think every trout that we've hooked has been at least over 18, which is pretty cool. Let's see if he's got any more buddies down there. They usually don't hang out alone, at least not in deeper water like this. There he is. Another Chokoloskee. He's got some pep in his step. This is the smallest one that we've hooked. Still not a bad one though. Got a 16-incher. This one is real pretty. I had a feeling there was another one of you guys hanging out down there. Had a feeling. Let's see. Let's get you out of the net. You already unhooked yourself. Oh wow, look at that. It's either some sort of weird growth or this fish has been caught before. But he's got a really pretty pattern right there. Gonna dunk him on back. Yeah, because that bottom hole was not from me. I'm pretty sure I hooked him in that top hole on the upper lip, but see you, buddy. As you can see, my truck is an absolute pigsty right now. We've got to get it sorted out here soon. But something I want to share with you guys, something really cool that I just saw on the bank right here. I'll play the clip now. Pretty sure it was a baby sawfish. I have never seen a sawfish in person, so if I'm wrong, someone please let me know, but it was super cool to see. And they get a lot bigger than that, but just saw that at the little launch right here. But we got the Old Town all tucked away for this evening. We had a decent day with the conditions given. Really stoked on my first ever gag grouper. Might have called it a peewee in the past that I just didn't identify or couldn't identify, but first solid one for me, and first fish in the kayak, the new kayak. So very stoked about that. We got into a decent amount of nice trout. The wind and current absolutely kicked my butt. I always forget, every time I come back to the Chokoloskee area, I forget how strong the current can be, and it can get ripping. But we caught some fish, we made it happen. I wanted to get off the water at a decent time today because tomorrow I want to have a much longer day and get out here at sunrise, and I have some cool plans. Hopefully we might be able to get into some sight fishing. I want to get into some water closer to the Gulf on these outer islands and see what we can find out there. I really stayed inside today because it was just really rough out there today. But yeah, solid first day. Got here around noon and caught a few fish, so I'm ready to rest up. I'm ready to get some good food, and I'll see you guys back out here tomorrow morning. Good morning. We are back out here. It is gorgeous this morning, and hopefully the wind stays light. We shall see. But been pedaling for about an hour or so. Got out here just before sunrise, launched, and we're just now getting into the 10,000 islands up here. And today my plan is just to do one giant loop. We're gonna head out here all the way out to the outskirts of the islands towards the Gulf, and would love to find some clean water. The goal for at least the first half of the day is hopefully to find some clean water, maybe be able to do some sight fishing, looking for snook, redfish, tarpon, things like that on the outsides of the islands. And on our way out, if we see anything fishy looking, we will definitely have to stop. But I would like to pretty much make a straight shot out there, and the outgoing tide is going to start up here soon, and it'll push us out there, and then during the incoming at some point is when I'm going to loop back and come through another pass to make our way back to the launch. But we've got all day out here. I am so excited. Never know what you're going to run into down here in the Everglades, so let's do it. Fish just blew up under the trees up here. There he is. This is a little snook. Little baby snook. Alright, well, that is one of the target species. Not quite the size we're looking for. I thought it was a little tarpon sitting under there that kept flashing on it. But no. Little baby snook. Alright, bud. Alright. There you go. You pop the hook. Little pretty snook. See you, buddy. Alright. We've still got quite a ways to make it down to where I want to spend a lot of time fishing this morning, so I'm going to keep moving out that way. Nice red. No, he's spooked. Oh, a few nice fish up here. Bunch of reds. Bunch of reds right here. And he spooked off this way. Well, that's a good sign that we're starting to see a lot of fish around. They weren't very big, but that was probably like 8 redfish and a few sheep's heads sitting right there. The water is way cleaner out here, and there are some fish, so see if we can put a bait in front of one's face. Look at that right there, guys. That's a juvenile sawfish. That is so cool. We saw that baby one yesterday, and this one isn't nearly full grown, but he's bigger. He's still a juvenile. Look at that. That is so cool. And great to see all these little guys around, because they are a protected endangered species, so maybe their future is on the up and up. Bunch of redfish right there. Bunch of them. They all spooked off that way. It was like at least a dozen of them, it looked like. Oh, I just got smoked. Just got smoked. Why did he not? Oh, he just nipped the back of it. It was definitely one of those reds that I just spooked off. He just pulled it down. He didn't get the whole bait. That's weird. Usually when a red eats it, it gets the whole thing. Well, at least we got a strike. Been covering a lot of water. But let's see what's up ahead of us. Good to see a big stack of fish like that together. There's a fish. Ooh, flounder. Flounder. Nice flounder. That's sick. Let's see if we can land him here. Nice. Nice, dude. Well, that is not what I was expecting at all. He thumped it too. Man. Well, that is so cool. I haven't caught a flounder in so long. Gosh, he choked the thing. I'll show you guys what bait I'm throwing in a second. Ah, that is so cool. Was not expecting a flounder at all. Look at him shaking. Why are you shaking like that, bud? Alright, well, here's the bait that he ate. A little nomad switcher shrimp. I believe this is 3.5 inches. And yeah, I was not expecting a flounder today or during this trip whatsoever, so really cool to run into one. They are so dang pretty. Nothing huge, and he's got some gnarly teeth. See you, buddy. Back down to the bottom he goes. Yeah, guys, it has been another grind of a day so far. I spent a lot of time standing up trying to sight fish, and there were some redfish around, but really not much more than that. A lot of sheep's head, a lot of little baby sheep's head, and they were really spooky. And then there was some redfish here and there. I was really optimistic at first because I saw a decent amount of reds in the first little pocket that we checked, but since then it's just been here and there. I'll see one or two, or like that big group of them, we had one come off after we spooked them. So I'm continuing to move around. We've at least done a dozen miles today, probably more, and I'm gonna stay on these outer islands a little bit longer. Just caught that flounder here, so I'm gonna fish around here a little bit more and continue working some more islands that way, because in order to do the loop that I want, there's another pass that way that I have to use to get back. So we still got plenty of water to cover, but it has just been a little bit of a slow start to the first half of the day. So hopefully we can turn it around and either find some more fish out here on the outside, or if not, we'll hop up further into the back country and see what we can find in there. Well, we are off the water, just got some food in me, and unfortunately the bite today was pretty disappointing, pretty tough. One snook, one flounder. So far we've seen more sawfish than we have snook on this trip, which is great that we're seeing sawfish, not great that we're not catching snook, but it is fishing, and the Everglades, especially in the Chokoloskee area, can be really difficult. I've had excellent experiences down here and not great experiences down here, with today being one more strike added to that not so great experience list. Absolutely beautiful area, but the bite was just really tough. We did about 25 miles today, maybe 20, 25, somewhere in that range, and covered a lot of water. Just didn't find the fish, did not find the bites that we needed to. But tomorrow we're going to be going to a different area in the Everglades, completely different. We're not going to be going out of Chokoloskee. It beat me down pretty good this trip, so I'm going to save that for another trip. Really excited for tomorrow though. But for now, I would like to talk about the Old Town a little bit. I have really been enjoying fishing out of this. The seat is very, very comfortable. One thing that I've been very impressed by as well, throughout these past 2 days of fishing, it has this dry hatch in the front. And when you open up the dry hatch, it doesn't have anything inside of there. It doesn't have a bin or anything like that, which I was a little worried about. It just goes straight down in the hull. So I was worried about putting stuff in here and having it get wet. Turns out they're not getting wet at all. I mean, they're in dry bags and stuff anyway, but it is good to know that I can stuff down in there and it won't get absolutely soaked, because most kayaks I've had in the past, just water eventually gets in the hull, but time will tell. Been very impressed with that so far. The pedal drive has been great, been functioning awesome for me, and it's really nice having instant reverse with the propeller drive. But unfortunately I lost my paddle today, so we're gonna run to a store, the closest store we can find that has a paddle. There's a little latch right here. I don't know how well you guys can see it. A latch right here, and I just had the paddle in there, and it was really rough out when I got back into open water, pedaling back, and lost my paddle somewhere on the way. I turned around, looked for it for 20-30 minutes, couldn't find it, so she's a goner. Was not the kayak's fault. I should have locked this little thing in here. I just had the paddle resting in there, and a wave came up and must have slapped it. I didn't even know it, and I went to grab it when we were about to get back to the launch, and it was gone. But anyway, I am talking up a storm. It's time to get some rest and hopefully make up for today, having a slow day of fishing, with potentially an epic day tomorrow. We shall see. See you guys tomorrow morning when we're back out on the water. Alright guys, we are out here for day 3. Real foggy, real pretty morning, and we are tucked way back here in the back country looking for mainly tarpon and snook back in here. I actually just saw 3 or 4 nice snook cruising this bank just a second ago, so that's a good sign. So let's start casting. I'm either going to be casting probably the paddle tail or the shrimp to start off. So let's see what we can find. There's a good looking outflow right here. There's gotta be some fish hanging around right here. Oh, there's a fish. On the world's most worst cast. He was up in the, or my bait was up in the tree. Came down, and this fish ate it. Oh my gosh, look at those fish going nuts back in there. That sounded like a bigger one. What the heck? How did that thing even hook you? Wow, what a strange catch, dude. Very strange catch to start the morning off. And there he goes. I have no idea how he was even hooked. That was so weird. So weird. The hook wasn't even in him. I don't know if the screw lock somehow might have got him or what. But yeah, that was strange. Well, there's definitely some active fish around here. That one fish was blowing up, going nuts for a second while we were dealing with him. So, very good sign. Decent little snook to start the morning off. There he is. Oh no! That was a good fish. Oh, got him again. A little tarpon, I think. There we go. Oh no, little snook. That first one might have been a tarpon, the way he was like kind of racing at me like that. And he felt heavier than this. I don't know, could be the same fish. Another little snook. They're piled up right here at this little creek mouth here. There he is. Pretty dark little backwater snook right there. Pretty Everglades snook. See ya, buddy. I'm just throwing this 6 Cents Divine swim bait 3-4. It's nice gold color. This is nice dark water. So this this gold really looks good in this color of water. Really stands out. But let's see what else is back in here. There he is, little baby. Little baby. I think I'm gonna go up into this creek. I just looked at the map and it winds way back and opens back up. It's real skinny at the mouth here, but it goes way back in there. So let's go check it out after we send this little guy back. See you, buddy. A lot of small fish so far, but man, we are having a lot more action than we were yesterday, so I will take it. Hopefully we can just upgrade the size as the day goes on. This water is actually pretty clear back in here. I got my new little paddle here from Walmart that I picked up last night. But I'm going to stand up here and see if we can sight fish any of these snook. I did spook off a big one, and I've seen a few other small ones just starting to pedal through this little creek. But if this visibility stays like this, might get a few good opportunities to sight fish them, which would be awesome. Just saw a fish go under here. Oh, there's two nice snook right there. Two nice ones. Saw a smaller one go under the tree. I didn't even see those two. They were tucked way up under there. These fish are getting really skinny too. This water's shallow back in here. I don't have the best angle with the sunlight and the fog and everything. The sun's right in front of me. I'm thinking eventually when we turn the other direction and have the sun to our back and this fog thins out, we should be able to see fish a lot easier. I'm actually gonna turn around now. I might come back in here later, but since I just saw those two fish, it's just so shallow I haven't seen any more. So maybe later on when the tide flips back around and there's an incoming tide, we can come check this out. There's just not enough water back here right now. It's only like 6 inches, 8 inches. There's a lot towards the mouth, but haven't seen any fish since those last two. There he is. Smacked it. Man, he thumped it. He hit it so hard, I thought that was going to be a big one once I felt that strike. Lots of energy from this guy. Alright, alright. He wanted it, that is for sure. Alright, buddy. See you, little buddy. Some of these snook are tucked way up under there. I think I'm gonna grab this setup here. And I have a shindo tied on, a 6-inch shindo. This will allow me to skip really easily to get way back in the stuff, because the mangrove roots, the water is starting to fill out the mangrove roots, especially on this side. And I just spooked a fish tucked up all the way under there, so let's see what we can find doing this. Might be able to get some surface action from some bigger fish with this lure too. Oh, big snook just went after it right there. Of course, when I was freaking testing the drag. He came up on it, he just didn't commit on it. I paused the bait to make sure I had my drag set right. And a nice, probably 30-inch snook just nosed right up on it. Oh, fish just ate right there, right in this little pocket. Got him. There we go. Decent snook. There we go. A little bigger than what we were getting into earlier, maybe by a hair. Nothing too big. Ate the paddle tail. I've seen these fish blowing up. I've definitely seen some bigger ones blowing up too. I can just flip him. Nice. Whoa, sorry, bud. Yeah, he's not a bad one. Nothing too big though. I've seen some bigger ones blowing up. Yeah, he's about the same size as what we were catching earlier. They are just so pretty down here in the Everglades in these backwaters with how dark they get. So pretty. Thank you for playing, bud. See ya. All right, I'm switching things up a little bit. I've made it back down the creek to a point where I'm running into less action, and we're almost towards the end of it anyway. So I'm gonna turn around and fish my way back. But, you know, we've run into a lot of smaller fish today, and we had that one bigger fish follow. I'm gonna try throwing some bigger baits. That way we can kind of weed out those smaller fish and hopefully get the attention from a bigger fish. So we've got the judo, 6 cents judo tied on here. This color looks awesome. That little brown little copper in there looks sick. And then I've also got a slightly larger paddle tail tied on my other rod. So between everything that we've got tied on, hopefully we can make something happen with a bigger fish, and we'll just fish our way back, and then we might hit that other little creek again where it was very clear. Might be able to do some sight fishing, so we'll see what happens. Tarpon right there. Oh, got him. Tarpon. Tarpon ate the glide. He T-boned it too. Little tarpon. That's sick. I saw a few of them rolling back in here. Probably gonna net this guy just so we can deal with them safely with a bunch of treble hooks going on. All right. Got ourselves a tarpon on the glide. That's the first one I've landed on a glide bait. I've had a few of them eat it in the past, but always ended up jumping them. So that's pretty cool. And man, did he want that thing or what? He absolutely T-boned it. There we go. Sorry, I hate having fish getting tossed around in the boat like that, but I really didn't have any other option. Oh, that was cool. Glad we were able to land a tarpon this trip. Very cool. Very small, pretty little tarpon. There he goes. See you, buddy. All right, well that I think is gonna round out our trip. It's about 3 o'clock right now, and I am absolutely just exhausted from the past few days. At least today, we got into a lot of fish. Not the biggest fish, but a lot of snook, and I got that one little tarpon. So very cool exploring a new spot. For the most part of this trip, I just explored a lot of new waters that I've never hit before, which was really awesome. Yesterday definitely being the toughest day. Overall, a pretty tough trip though, but we caught some fish. The Everglades, you know, is not really known for the biggest fish. Yes, it holds some giant fish at times in certain areas, but finding those areas at those times can be the challenging part. The Everglades is a really special place, very beautiful. Right now we got some planes that I'm sure you guys can hear, but other than that, fishing remote areas like this away from normal civilization is always a blast. As for the kayak, I have really nothing but good things to say about it. It has been a blast fishing out of this trip. Very comfortable. I think we put over 40 miles on this kayak already just from the past 3 days. We covered a ton of water and very comfortable. I'm really liking the propeller drive. Love how wide the platform is, very stable, tons of room for dry storage and things like that. And yeah, I have had a blast fishing out of it. Really nothing bad to say about it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button and also subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.